What I'm talking about is you're describing a model for everyone, not just, let's get rid of me here. Everyone, if there's a penalty for being demonetized on YouTube, because your business model requires that be a huge component of it, you need to change your business model or this movement cannot work, Jeremy. I can't imagine my show trying to come up and be beholden to YouTube advertiser guidelines, let alone, I mean, honestly, being beholden from a conservative entity with hard strikes, right, being removed, but let alone being advertiser friendly. We know how broad those guidelines are. They might as well just read, don't say anything offensive, and they change them at the drop of a hat.
Yeah. Here we go, I'm TJQUaKE, the ghetto gamer on this gaming thing. Yeah. Here we go, I'm TJQUaKE, the ghetto.
What's happening, peoples? What is happening? That's right, this is TJQUaKE, Ghetto Gamer, and I'm back right again with TJQUaKE's Ghetto Gaming Pop Culture Talk. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Today, oh man, jeez, man, what is going on with my conservative brothers? All my conservative homies, all my peoples out there, what is going on? Ladies and gentlemen, we just have to get into this topic today because, we got a lot of our conservative flagship, one of our flagships is crashed into the other flagship. We're having friendly fire. You know, like in World War II, where sometimes you were firing at something and you thought you were firing at the enemy, but it was actually your homies on the other end. You're fighting at your own people and so forth. And they're not realizing that that's what they're doing. They're killing each other. That's what's going on right now with this whole Steven Crowder thing and Daily Wire and so forth. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I had to get into this because it's one of those things that I hate seeing happening, because the only people that benefit out of this entire freaking catastrophe, and everybody's talking about it right now. This is the thing that's happening right now. I really didn't want to have to even talk about this shit, but the only reason why, the thing that I'm going to be coming about on this whole topic is the infighting that we shouldn't be doing in front of the children. Yeah. You know those children that we call the wokety wokes, the leftists, the Democrats, all those freaking way out there, the people that we're literally supposed to be battling against, all of us teaming up against them. Well, we can't do that when we start splitting up amongst each other. We're doing like the GOP does and everything. Well, you had the MAGAs and then you had the old crew. The old crew was like, business as usual bullshits and everything. And then you got MAGA crew coming in there saying, no more of that. We ain't doing that no more. No, we're going to start fighting back, and you little flipnicks that don't want to freaking help us fight, y'all can move along and kick rocks and so forth. That's what's happening right now. And I'm starting to see this infighting a little bit that started with this whole thing with Daily Wire and Steven Crowder. As you guys all know, Steven Crowder is one of the big conservative voices out there, comedian kind of cat. He always does the, change my mind thing, change my mind, and nobody can really ever change his mind because his mind is based on common sense and everybody else is pretty much nonsense. That's pretty much what he always does. He proves his point every single time and so forth. But unfortunately, we got a lot of knuckleheads out there that want to see us battle each other. And the only people that are getting hip to or that are loving this, the people that are loving this whole thing is people on the left. TYT is having a wonderful time with all this craziness. Oh yeah, they're loving it. I'll show you what they're all about. But let's finish this convo with him and Steven Crowder, because Steven Crowder makes a good point about what he's talking about. But Daily Wire has their points too. So I'm not really on either one side. I agree with Steven Crowder on certain things. And where I kind of side a little bit more on Steven Crowder is the movement that he's about. Daily Wire, I get what they're doing because it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business for them. And I get that. But their business is supposed to be based off of the movement. That's what their business was started off of. That's where it came into its own. All right? It evolved from this movement called the conservative movement of not canceling people, of not having to worry about being red striked by YouTube or being canceled on Twitter or Facebook freaking, shutting down your page or something. We're trying to get away from these freaking Silicon Valley big tech flipnicks. And that's what Steven Crowder's whole thing is in this whole argument that's going on. Now, where I disagree with Crowder on some of the stuff that's going on is that I think he put people on blast. This is a contract between him and Daily Wire. I think he should have kept it in closed doors. I understand he's upset and pissed off, and he wants to tell everybody, hey man, Daily Wire, I thought these guys were supposed to be on our side, but they're really not on our side. Well, okay, maybe to you in that essence, they're not really on our side, but you really didn't have to put them on front blast, because now guess what now? Well, you don't want the battling between us. We don't want these motherfuckers knowing our dirty line. We don't want these people seeing all of our freaking infighting. Why? Because they're going to use that against us. They're laughing. It's like Lucifer finally getting what he wanted and everything for us to start fighting each other within. That's how you destroy a movement. The movement gets destroyed from within. The people on the outside can't do nothing to us, man. We're stronger together. Our voices together will always conquer the freaking left wing, the wokety wokes out there, all these freaking activists out there that are freaking trying to, push their bullshit off on us and so forth, and our children and so forth. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to be fighting against. We're supposed to be fighting to get our country back. And that's what Crowder technically is really all about. It's not about the money, but I'm gonna get into more of the video of some of the stuff that Steven's saying, some of the stuff that Jeremy from Daily Wire is saying, some of the stuff that now Candace and Ben Shapiro and them they're mad at because they're gonna side with the company they're with, Daily Wire and everything. But we shouldn't be doing this. Is my point and so forth. But if you guys notice what Steven was crying about, he's tripping about, is the whole thing about why are you putting in a contract that I'm going to get, you're going to put these fees on me if I get a strike? And I'll tell you why he's coming at that and why I agree with Crowder on that and so forth. I totally get the contract on the Daily Wire side. I get what Germany did. They got to make their money too, right? Every company that you do business with, well, they got to make their money too. I get that. But there's certain things that I thought was supposed to be a no-no as far as what we're all trying to do in a movement of conservative values and destroying the council culture. That's
to YouTube advertiser guidelines, let alone, honestly, being beholden from a conservative entity with hard strikes, right, being removed, but let alone being advertiser friendly. We know how broad those guidelines are. They might as well just read, don't say anything offensive, and they change them at the drop of a hat.
I'm not suggesting that the guidelines aren't terrible. I'm suggesting that if making money off of those platforms is part of how you're justifying the salary you're paying someone, then or the fee I keep saying salary, the fee you're paying someone, then when those go away, everybody loses money. You can't pay the same amount with less revenue.
How about you create a different business model?
And see, I'm with him on that one, you guys. I'm with him on that one. How about you create a different business model and everything? Why don't you guys do it differently than what the rest of them are doing? See, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, is that Daily Wire offered Steven Crowder an offer, okay? It's supposed to be like $50 million for over a 4-year period, right? And everything. Now, for Steven, it's a lot of money. But to be honest with you guys, Steven can kind of do that really on his own, to be honest with you. He really doesn't need Daily Wire, in my personal opinion, and everything. But, hey, we're all together in this. Let's work together. Let's make this happen. Hey, I'm already being demonetized. This is what Steven's trying to tell Jeremy. I don't know why Daily Wire and them don't already get this. Steven's already been demonetized for the last 3 years. He's been demonetized by YouTube. YouTube because, obviously, my boy here, he talks about topics that the left don't want him talking about. They always try to silence us. You know, if you say anything about January 6th and you're an election denier, oh, he's an election denier. Oh, ban him. If anybody, like he just said, if anybody wants to decide to say, oh, we can't stand Steven Crowder on this subject, we're going to freaking boycott him. Well, guess what Daily Wire is going to do? We're going to take 20% of your freaking flow off the top. Oh, another guy says cancel. Here's another 20 point. Here's another 20%. But you know, he's already getting all these other fees knocked off of him. If you get a red strike, if you get a strike against him, he gets 100,000 knocked off or something like that for one red strike. Dude, people get strikes all the time. If you're a conservative, we get stricken all the time, dude. YouTube don't like us, and so the algorithms on YouTube don't like us. If we say one thing out of line, there's certain words, people, did you realize there's words on YouTube you can't say? I mean, common language words and everything. You know that thing that happens to a woman if a man assaults her and he sexually assaults her? Well, I have to say sexually assault. I can't say the other word, the R word and everything, because that can be considered a strike against me. And so forth. Yeah, people. I learned this stuff late in the game because I used to watch. I'm watching all my YouTube brethren out there and so forth, and I would see sometimes when they wouldn't say certain words, they would slur the word up or change it up in a way, and I'm like, why are they doing that all the time? Is there a reason why they're doing that? You know. I honestly did not get why people did that. And then I started finding out, oh, they're doing it because YouTube will give them a strike if they say certain words. You can't say this, you can't say that. It's like our language now is being, just normal language is being censored. You can't say certain words. I'm like, are you kidding me? We can't say that? Really? And it's just a part of everyday language. It's not anything that's going to harm anybody or, it's not offensive. You just can't say that particular word that you've been saying all your freaking life. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's words sometimes I don't even know what it is because they change shit up all the time. So next thing you know, you're getting a strike on your page or you're getting a warning, hey, you said something, but they don't even tell you what you said. You don't know what you did. You don't know what it was, what part of the video they're referring to. So you'll get jacked on something. You don't even know what it is because they won't even tell you. They just like, well, try, you got to take a certain thing out. What certain thing? I don't even know what you're talking about. But that's what happens, dude. So you'll get these things that'll happen all the time. A little bit of their flow here. Go on, Steven. Say what you got to say, bro.
Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Of course, telling someone else, hey, change your business model. I get it. I'm in no position to say that unless, instead of Monday morning quarterbacking it, here's the thing. I didn't just offer criticisms. I offered a guide on how to, here's the deal. I want to sit at the table with people who, granted, have an immense amount of power and have incredibly deep pockets. That is all true, to be clear. And by the way, it's something that I want to have on our side of the aisle. But I offered a guide on how to do it. It is incumbent, this is what this is about. It is incumbent upon conservatives, if we believe what we say, to uncouple, to divest, if you want to use that term, from big tech, right? For the business models of the movement as we move forward, to not rely on playing ball with Facebook and with YouTube. That is something that we have to move toward. You know that we've been trying to do that here for years. That's why every single show we say, hey, if you can watch on Rumble, please do so. We're not looking to be banned on YouTube, but we certainly won't compromise the truth.
See? And that's really what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it comes down to. The reason why I have to agree with Crowder on this is because that's what I'm about. That's what I'm about. Ladies and gentlemen, I just started doing the YouTube, like literally doing all this stuff as something that I kind of want to find a future in doing. You know what I'm saying? I've always spoke my mind about things. I started way back in 2016 and everything. But 2016, this YouTube channel wasn't something that I was planning on making into what I'm doing now. Everything. Technically, I started YouTube. People say, oh, dang, you've been doing this for a while. No, actually, I haven't. And everything. I started on YouTube just like anybody else. I just like listening to music videos and everything. I would watch videos and put it in my favorites. You know, that's really my channel was. It wasn't a channel doing this kind of stuff, doing creator content and so forth. I wasn't doing that. That slowly kind of started becoming a thing, but it wasn't something, even when I started kind of throwing videos up on my own, I wasn't even thinking about the money aspect. At first, I didn't even know you could get paid on YouTube. I had no clue. I didn't find that out until I found out some lady went to the who was a YouTuber, I guess. she went to Google or to YouTube headquarters and pulled a gun out. Was like pissed off because they canceled her. They said they censored her. I guess they demonetized her. And this is how she made her money. And she was that. And I was like, why is this woman tripping on because they canceled her channel? Who cares? But she was done because this is how she made her living. And I was going, what? She made her money. She made her living by putting these. And I saw the videos she was at. They were cheesy. I was like, what the heck is this? She was making money off of this? It's because YouTube places commercials, ads before your videos. And you can put those things in when you get monetized, you can start putting those commercials where you want them, blah, 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 and so forth, and get paid and everything for something you love doing and everything, you know? So I was already kind of doing this stuff. I was kind of here and there putting a video. I wasn't like doing it every day. I would do it like, I put a video out once, twice out of a month. Sometimes I did 2-3 months go by. It wasn't something I always did, you know? So I slowly kind of got into it. It wasn't until after Donald Trump technically, lost to Biden and everything. Yeah, it's words that it struggles to come out of my mouth. But so when that happened, that's when I really got started because I was already doing, because I'm a musician. I'm in a band called Slapback. So I do music. I rap and everything. So I'm always expressing things through music. But then I started putting that thing on through music on little videos I would put sometimes of my own little projects. And then I started kind of, doing little things like me and my wife would do TJ and MJ Spin Your Dollar, Save Your Dollar movie reviews, And I started getting into the movies and started, because we're movie buffs. So I love reviewing movies. But I noticed in my movies, politics are jumping into it. And now our movies are getting infected. That's where Jeremy and from Geeks and Gamers and Ryan Cannell and Ripple Verge, Ripple, you got Young Ripple, all these kind of casts. That's where these guys came into play because these guys were those guys that are in there that are about the entertainment prospect of things. And I kind of liked that. I liked it. I was like, oh, who's this guy Jeremy from this Geeks and Gamers thing? I was digging on his stuff. I like what he's talking about. But then it started getting more political because his stuff started changing. And then when he starts talking about these things, all of a sudden, YouTube is banning shit. Oh, we're silencing you here. Oh, Twitter, you're getting canceled here. Oh, Facebook, you're getting canceled there. It's all this stupid shit. So it starting to piss me off. I'm like, dude, what is the frick going on, dude? Christmas time comes around. Now they're saying everything's racist about Christmas. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's racist. It's Cold Outside song that came, now that's misogynist. I'm like, what? So you start seeing all the left getting worse and worse. They're pushing more and more of this stuff that we grew up normally throughout my entire life was never questioned. There was never a problem with it. All of a sudden, we got this younger generation that knows shizzle about the past, about what's going on. They just want communism because free, free, free. That's all they think about. They think that you don't have to work work for your money. They want you to get it for free. Oh, everybody, the rich man's the problem. The rich man, and he needs to be taxed. All these things started happening, just more and more stuff piling on. Racism, everywhere racism. I'm like, dude, I grew up in the freaking 80s, dude. And these people act like there's more racism than there was when I grew up and everything. They literally act like that. I'm like, dude, I didn't deal with none of the stuff that they're talking about. My mom and them did. My grandparents did. But the stuff they're talking about now, what the heck are you talking about? But if you say anything about it, ladies and gentlemen, cancel. Oh, you're a white supremacist. So this is what Jeremy and all of us started doing. Steven Crowder and Candace Owens, and you got ABL and Brian Tatum and all these people, Officer Tatum. You got all these people that are like, dude, we're sick of this stuff. What that's all about. This is the CEO, Jeremy, from Daily Wire right here. And he's kind of reading the contract because he did this in response to Steven Crowder's rant about the contract. Now, where I'm going to agree with the CEO here, Jeremy, where I agree with him is I don't think Steven should have put this out on Front Street. I really don't think he should have did that. He should have kept this in between them, and so now everybody named Mama knows about, because now everybody's talking about, look at, we're all doing videos on this now and everything, because all of us got to throw in our opinions on what's going, whether you agree with Steven or whether you agree with Daily Wire and everything. I agree with both and everything. I think both of them have valid arguments, but mine tends to lean a little bit more towards what Crowder's about, because I think people are missing the point about what Steven Crowder's, why he's pissed off. It's not about the money to him. Everybody says it's about the money. It's not about the money and so forth. But let Jeremy go in and speak his little piece.
10 additional DW rights, merch rights. It says DW will maintain the exclusive right to create and sell Crowder and Crowder content branded merchandise, and the remuneration for that's already included in the fee. So one of the ways that we can make money, put ads in a show. One of the ways that we can make money, sell subscriptions around his content.
I totally agree with that. See, that's a business thing. We make money because the company's got to make money too. So we're gonna make money off your name too as well. We're gonna make merch and all these different things that we're gonna invest money into to do this and everything, and that money comes to us, and so forth. We're paying you your flat fee of what you're going to make, but we got to make that money back too. So I get what he's saying on that avenue, but this is the part that gets icky.
One of the ways that we can make money is be responsible for his merch. Now that would mean that we have to pay for the creation of the merch, pay for the marketing of the merch, but we would own the
totally
upside.
Understandable.
Email list. DW will maintain the exclusive right to manage, grow, and monetize all Crowder email lists during the term. We have an enormous team here at the Daily Wire, and some of them full-time think about email. So that's a burden that we would take off of Steven, having to manage his own email list, just like we manage and pay the expenses on the merch. But we'll get the upside of that. Remember, we're trying to fill that 50, 60, 70, $100 million hole and to make profit. And the profit gets poured back in so that we can pay for all the infrastructure, all the technology, and all the other ways that we're fighting the fight. Social media management. This one was something that Steven seemed particularly aggravated by in his video, although I don't understand why.
Well, you'll understand why when it comes to why because of the fees that you guys are going to do. This is the part that Steven Crowder, and I have to agree with Steven on, this is the part I don't really like in the contract.
It says DW will have the exclusive right to manage, curate, and monetize his official Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Snapchat, Rumble, and other social media accounts, excluding his existing personal Twitter and Instagram accounts. So why would we exclude some but not exclude others? Well, we're saying that during the term, we have, of course, he puts his podcast on Apple Podcast. We're the ones monetizing the Apple Podcast. So this is just making clear that, yes, we're.
And that part right there is totally understandable as well. That part right there, we're monetizing it. We're going to monetize. Okay, so you're monetizing it. That means somehow you guys have the money then. You're monetizing it, not YouTube and so forth. But this is the part where it gets to the YouTube stuff, where YouTube comes in. Because this is where all of us creators make our money most of the time. And he'll get to that. Here we go.
We're selling ads in his podcast. The podcast goes out on Apple Podcasts. That revenue comes back to us. We put something up on Facebook. Same thing. We bring in ad revenue off of that Facebook piece of content. But we're going to own that during the term. Obviously, at the end of the term, he's going to get his official Facebook account back. He's going to get his official YouTube account back. He's going to get his official Apple Podcast channel back. But during the term, again, all those people behind us, we've got experts in every one of these platforms, how to optimize it, how to make sure that you're getting the most out of it, and we'll manage that and we'll collect the revenue. But not as Twitter and Instagram, because those are very personal channels. You can't manage someone's Twitter. I can't speak for Candace Owens. I can't speak for Ben Shapiro. If only I could, I would like what they say a lot more. I mean, as you know about Daily Wire, we we have a lot of disagreements sometimes between our hosts. Presumably, if I could control everything that they say, there'd never be any disagreements. They would just all be right all the time like I am. But that's not the case. We're saying, of course, he needs to control his own Twitter voice. Of course, he needs to include his own Instagram account. We get this a lot where people are like, Jordan's Twitter has changed since he joined Daily Wire Plus. I have nothing to do with Jordan Peterson's Twitter account. I don't have login credentials for his Twitter account. I've never asked him to tweet anything or not tweet anything. That'd be way outside of the bounds of what's based on the content that we make. Have the right to run any personal subscription or donation effort. He can't have a Patreon or a Locals or any sort of paid fan club while Mug Club is part of DW Plus, right? We're the ones who are going to own subscription revenue during the term. So I think all this is very...
Basically, they would own a lot of his stuff, which I see what they're trying to do is they want to own all your stuff so that they can make the money that you're already making off of the stuff you're doing and everything. And I get it to a certain degree on certain stuff like that. They got to make their money. But at the same time, then what do I need you for? Really, it's like, well, why do I need you? And so forth. If you're going to make money off the stuff that I'm making money off of already, and obviously you want to own all this stuff because this is the money you see that's going to make a lot. It's going to make a lot of money. We'll make a lot of money off of Steven Crowder's, off his Mug Club, off of his, because his Mug Club is a subscription. People pay $10 a month to be a part of Steven Crowder's Mug Club thing and everything. $10. Now, let me just to put that into perspective for you guys. Daily Wire has 3 tiers that you can pay for to be a part of Daily Wire to watch all the content on there. Right? There's a couple movies on Daily Wire. I want to see that one with the girl that holds down these dudes that are taking over the school. Everything. That movie looks great. I would actually want to pay for maybe a month or two just to see if I can see that movie because you ain't gonna be able to see it anywhere else but on Daily Wire and everything. See, when you put out good content like that makes people want to say, oh, it's like this, like Netflix. It's really what Daily Wire is becoming. You're like a Netflix. You're like a Disney Plus or whatever. All this content people are going to subscribe to so that they can watch all the cool things that you put out and everything. Steven Crowder, what I would think that they could have done with Steven Crowder is take Steven Crowder's stuff, instead of taking all his merch and all his stuff and everything, have Steven Crowder, hey, you got to do like he said, there's daily specials you have to do once out of the month. You got to do maybe your special content, that you can't do on YouTube. Bring it over here to Daily Wire. We're going to put it on Daily Wire, and those are exclusives only on Daily Wire and so forth. And that's what we get paid off of. But we got to have that in the contract that you got to put in do at least 5 of those, in a month or within a 2-month period or whatever and everything. Then we got to have at least a few of those in the Daily Wire thing so people will come over to Daily Wire if they really want to see that Steven Crowder content, that special content, maybe a biography thing or, like a what is a woman segment type thing or what Candace Owens did with BLM, the whole BLM movement bullshit. And they made a little special thing. But he talks about having those things on his show because those things would make money. I get that. He mentions that and so forth. But those are the things I would think that you should only own, though. Those are the only things I think they should own. I don't think they should own Steven Crowder's YouTube accounts and all these other things and so forth and everything. Because what you're doing is you're using Steven Crowder's name and he's making special content to put on only on Daily Wire. And the only way people from Steven Crowder's show, when they watch this, I'm watching Steven Crowder's shiz. He says, guess what? Because Dr. Steve Turley does this all the time. Guess what, you guys? I got a special event that I'm doing. We're going to be doing this thing. Oh, we got this movie that we're doing, and you're all invited, but you can't. It's not going to be on YouTube. You got to go over to my Rumble page, or you got to go to my special website over here, and that's where you'll be able to have access to seeing this stuff. And people are like, oh, I want to see it. Okay, I'm going over there. Become a special subscriber, and you'll get to be able to see it, blah, blah, blah. You pay your $10, you become a subscriber. Now, all the stuff Dr. Steve does that you normally won't get to see on YouTube, you get to see on his website, from his personal website page. And Daily Wire, it's the same thing. All these cool things, the Gina Carano movie that came out, you can only see that on Daily Wire. Oh, I want to see. I'm a fan of Gina Carano. I want to see what's her next. Oh, it's on Daily Wire. Well, frick, where do I go to Daily Wire to see it? Well, there's a subscription. Like I said, they got 3 subscriptions: $8 a month, $12 a month, $14 a month, and everything. Those are the 3 tiers you have on Daily Wire and so forth. And each tier opens up more stuff within the website that you have access to being able to be a part of. And I think that's a great idea. This is how you turn the game around and so forth. So you take it away from Hollywood. We're going to make Daily Wire, because I was looking at Daily Wire like, maybe Daily Wire is going to be the new Hollywood, and for us conservatives, so we can go back to old school way of movies again, the way movies used to be made, with real stories. Real excitement, real flow, not all this wokety woke. Oh, we're gonna put diversity and all this stuff in the movie on purpose, and that's what the movie's really about. It's not about Star Wars. It's about the women who are the Force in Star Wars. We are the women power. We are the Seras and all that, and it totally takes away from the movie Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? That's what Kathleen Kennedy did with Star Wars. She made it woke, and everybody hated it. And so forth. So people want to come over to Daily Wire to watch real cool stuff. Now you got your special guys that made it big on YouTube. And now these guys, if you want to see some of their great content, well, you go over to Daily Wire now. You get to see it on Daily Wire and so forth. So you become a subscriber over Daily Wire. Now Daily Wire is making money over there too. And so forth. That's what the business model should be. But where they're messing up at is they want to own all Steven Shiz and say, we want to make money off of Shiz you already been making money off of. What the fuck I need you for? What are you offering me other than, okay, you're going to give me some money, but then you're going to strike me and give me fees every freaking time I say something that YouTube don't like? I've always said things that YouTube don't like. To TJQUaKE, as you guys know, I say a lot of controversial stuff. YouTube probably doesn't like a lot of the things I say and everything. Trust me on that. And I don't care and everything. They ain't paying me nothing anyway. I'm not getting paid and so forth and everything. I ain't made no money yet and everything. I'm a beginner on this thing. I ain't got no major subscribers yet. I'm slowly getting there and everything. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, if you guys do like what I do, please subscribe. But so anyway, I want to get to what some of the stuff that Steve Crowder was really tripping on, though. Here we go. Reduction of fee from lost revenue from boycotts, content strikes, or bans from major social media platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here is the key to why all this shit is going down. What Crowder's real issue with all this is this right here. And this is my issue. This is my only major issue with a lot of the stuff they have. Some of the other stuff is like, okay, we can negotiate, whatever. But this right here is the crux of it and everything, because this right here is freaking ridiculous. It says ad drop. If Crowder is boycotted or dropped by more than 50% of his then extent advertising partners, that is 50% of his revenue from those partners, which is YouTube, okay, which is Spotify, which is any of these places that he's making money on and everything, and the company is not able to replace them within 90 days, then the fees will be reduced by 25% until such time as that ad revenue has been restored for a period of 90 days. Well, let me tell you guys, if you guys get a strike, too many strikes on YouTube, you're suspended from YouTube. You lose your account for 90 days. Actually, 90 days. That's YouTube's thing and so forth. 90 days, you will be suspended. You will not get to upload any videos. Therefore, you don't get to make any money and everything. You know what I'm saying? So what they're basically saying is, if you're not making money on YouTube, then and you're not making any kind of money on YouTube, then we're not gonna pay you anything and so forth. Well, what do I need your money for if all the money that I'm making right now is from YouTube? What do I need your money for then? And so forth. I'm already making money on YouTube. So if I get suspended from YouTube, cool, then I get suspended from you. I came to you guys in case I get suspended from YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, think about this. If I get suspended from YouTube, my backup is supposed to be Daily Wire. So now, TJ, you're not making any more money from YouTube. So I still making money from my guys that got my back, because I went over to the Daily Wire and they got my back and everything. They're paying for me to still keep doing my shiz. Regardless of what YouTube does. Frick YouTube. I got Rumble. I got all these other places that I can go to. Odyssey and everything. I got videos that, ladies and gentlemen, that you guys don't always get to see. They're on Odyssey or on Rumble. I have a Rumble page and an Odyssey page. And, so I tell people, hey, you guys, check my Rumble pages sometimes. Check out my Odyssey page. I have the links below. Go to those pages because sometimes not all my stuff is on here. And go become, follow me over on those particular sites and everything. Because once they finally destroy me on YouTube, which they probably eventually will, and everything, I'm going to always have Rumble and Odyssey. So I'm going to bring all my peoples over there. I'm going to keep my message going, but I'm not going to stop saying what I say just because these flipnicks don't like it and everything, because they want to stomp on freedom of speech and everything. Frick them. Everything. I don't give two shizzles and so forth. That's just the way it is. I ain't making money here as it is anyway and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, but when I do, people, what they do is when they're on YouTube, they don't always count on the monetary money. If you notice, most conservatives, we got sponsors now. You notice all these guys are doing read ads and stuff like that now. We're all doing Manscaped and all these type of things like that. That's where they're making their money now. They're not necessarily making money off of the revenue from YouTube anymore because YouTube takes away their money now. Why? Because they don't like what we say and everything. You think that's going to stop me from saying it though? I didn't come on here and I didn't start YouTube to make money. I started YouTube because I just like saying what I want to say. I want to get out there and spread the message to save our country from these idiots out here and everything. That's why I'm doing it. That's why Steven Crowder's doing it. That's what his point is and everything. So they want to, they're going to penalize him, for these things. Now, there's this thing, there's content strike. You can probably barely read it on here. I wonder if does he get to the content strike one? Yeah, he does. I think he does. And so forth. Let's go to what Jeremy's saying right here. Let's go read what he's saying.
If 50% of the money that he's making from advertisers is suddenly gone, and we're not able to replace that revenue within 90 days, then his fee will be reduced by 25% until such time as the ad revenue has been restored for a period of 90 days, and then it would all reset. Stephen says, all the left does is boycott our advertisers. So this just says to the left, your boycotts work and we'll enforce it for you. We will punish the content creator for you. But this isn't about punishing the content creator. This is about if the Daily Wire is going to leverage, I can't stress it, probably $100 million by the time you have marketing and infrastructure costs, by the time you pay for all the legal compliance, all the technology.
I get what he's saying. Totally get what he's saying, ladies and gentlemen. But the problem still comes down to, then why do I need you then? Well, what do I need you for? What are you actually offering me then? Because you already know, people, ladies and gentlemen, Steven Crowder's already been these things that he just said in that contract, what you just read right there, that's already happened. So why are you even offering Steven a deal in the first place? He's already been banned. So how are you going to make the money that you're talking about giving him then? If your money is going to come off of Steven Crowder's back, of him doing a show, I'm trying to get back to the contract again. Where is it here? Let me just read the content strike because I can't find it anywhere on the thing. Content strike. If any of the major platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Apple, Podcasts, Spotify, issues a content strike, which ladies and gentlemen, I've gotten those and everything, other than the company-wide content strike, such that Crowder content cannot be monetized on such platforms and the company is not able to resolve the issue within 90 days, then the fee will be reduced by 25% from that point forward and everything. Ban. If the Crowder content cannot be released on any of the major platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Apple, Podcasts, Spotify, because of Crowder or his content, because of Crowder saying things or his content being banned from those platforms, then the fee will be reduced by, for YouTube, 20%, for Apple Podcasts, 20%, for Facebook, 10%, for Spotify, 10%, and everything. So that's where I'm gonna just end this part for this whole thing right here. For me, ladies and gentlemen, That's my biggest problem with the whole deal. That's my biggest problem with the whole deal. The whole deal that you're gonna basically say, well, if you get a content strike, TJ, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna knock your money off, just like YouTube's gonna knock your money off. But then what the hell I need you for then? It's like I've been saying this again, So Crowder's just basically saying, you guys, I thought if you guys would be, if we really could do this, that's why he said, let's do it, make a new business model. The model would be that we're gonna help you make the money as long as you keep the crowd coming in. See, the club that we play at, they're always gonna pay us as long as we keep the crowd coming in and everything. But say if we're singing songs up on the stage, right? And the club owner and some people coming in the club and they say, oh, we don't like what they're singing. We hate what they're singing and everything. Either you stop them from singing what they're singing or we're going to go to another club and everything. And it's only like 5-10 people out of the freaking, 100 people that are in the club or something. But it's like 10 of them that are complaining. Big time. But they're the biggest, loudest mouths in there complaining about it and so forth. And the owner's like, well, I don't want any trouble. So, hey, can you guys stop singing those particular songs? Those songs, just don't sing those ones and everything. And you guys can stay up here and we'll pay you. Well, Slapback's like, well, dude, these are our songs. We're not going to stop singing these songs just because you got 10 people that don't like them and everything. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like you. And everything. That's always going to be a situation. But I'm not going to stop doing because this few over here don't like what I got to say or don't like what we're singing and everything. So he decides, well, then I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to be able to hire you here anymore. That's cool. We'll bring all of our fan base and we're going to go over to the next club. We got a club over here that doesn't care about they only care about us. So that same group of people go over there and they complain to them. Now, this is supposed to be Daily Wire. And this club over here called the Daily Wire and so forth, people come over there now. We're playing over there, playing our songs, the ones that the other club wouldn't let us play, and so forth. Now, this same crowd of people come over there, and there's 12 or 13 of them over there, and they're complaining. Hey, you better stop them from singing those songs. Those songs suck, and we don't like them. We're going to go someplace else. You know what our club just tells them? It says, kick rocks. I mean, this is Satan gloating, happy that this shit is going down and everything, And it just gives them an excuse to talk smack and whatnot. Go on, Flipnick.
And he's like, only $50 million over 4 years when I barely have to work. It's like slavery.
It's amazing. It really is.
And his show's an hour long and then half an hour behind the paywall. That's like half the size of our show, right? Like the guy just barely does anything. He goes out and he's like, oh no, black people and gay people suck. Ah! And he thinks $50 million is.
See what he's saying? See what he's trying to throw in his little talking about black people and gay people suck. When has Steven Crowder ever done that? See the lies they say, dude? And everything. If anybody knows Steven Crowder ain't no racist and everything, but they want to call him a racist. Oh, black people and gay people suck. Oh, hey, that's what Steven Crowder says. No, he doesn't. He's never said shit like that. Everything. Just because we don't agree with you guys on stupidity and everything and whatnot, I'm black, ladies and gentlemen. Am I complaining about Steven Crowder? No, because Steven Crowder has not said not one thing that has ever made me think he's a racist and so forth. Never. I've watched all this shiz and everything. I'm a fan of Steven Crowder stuff and everything. Here I am, a black man, but this guy who's not black, I don't know what the heck he is, if he's freaking Arabic or what and everything. And so he wants to try. They always want to try to act like they can talk for black people. Stop talking for us. You're not talking for me, dude. And everything. I don't give a flip about what the heck you think and so forth. But again, let me digress because I'm getting off topic here. This is what they're gloating about now. They can say all this stuff now, and they're getting all crazy, and they know that we're fighting amongst each other and whatnot. And, Candace said her thing. Shapiro, that's what he was kind of talking about. That Shapiro came out and kind of got in Steven's behind about what he said and so forth. But Steven, again, ladies and gentlemen, that's not what he's talking about. And I'll end it on this. And Steven, go ahead and say a little bit more where you're at with this.
In order to be advertiser friendly. Here's the thing, Daily Wire, Jeremy, and I really do hope that we can talk at some point, please, you can pick up the phone. We've done that. We here have found a way to make that work. For proof, see election night, our numbers on Rumble there, and see the numbers on Rumble when we get suspended from YouTube. I think it was 4 times this last year. And I went to great lengths to communicate that to the people.
And that's what I was talking about. When that whole thing went down, they went on Rumble. They got suspended on YouTube. They just took the stuff over to Rumble. The numbers were blown high out the roof. I mean, they destroyed it and everything. So I don't know why you're gonna still freaking jack him because he got jacked over at YouTube. Well, we're gonna take some of those fees away from you. We're gonna take them off the top of your money because YouTube banned you for that day. Well, then why do I need you then? It's like the Crowder show is already been demonetized on YouTube. He should know this already.
At Daily Wire. There can be no next me if the people at the top with the financial resources are doing the bidding. That's being the arm of big tech. What you just said is, well, we have to play ball with big tech if we want to make money. Well, I don't. Why don't you guys follow a model like I have and scale it? That's what I've been doing since 2014. You know that. Has been trying to make sure, which I thought we were all doing, that we can all flip the bird to Silicon Valley. This is saying we need him and you need to play ball.
See? And that's the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it comes down for me. That's why on this part of the argument, everybody keeps thinking that Steven Crowder is talking about the money. It's not about the money to him, dude. He doesn't care about that. He wants, and I'll get to that part where he says where he's talking about, because he says that towards the end here. If I can find that part, everything. He just wants to make it to where we can all freaking do this without freaking YouTube, without freaking Facebook, without any of these left-wing media sources. He wants to be able to make it to where we are the ones making the money and we don't have to depend on these guys. That's what it's supposed to be about. We're supposed to not have to depend on them for the money. Right now, if I want to make money on YouTube, once I get up to 1,000 subscriptions, which hopefully one day I'll get to that point and everything. But if I ever get to that point, I can start getting monetized. The problem there is if I ever say one thing out of line and so forth, guess what? Sorry, TJ, you get demonetized. Which is why I can't rely on YouTube for the money. I'm gonna have to get sponsors. That's technically all I'm waiting for is to where I can start getting sponsors and everything. I have enough people that subscribe to me and sponsors can come in and I'll make my money that way and so forth. I'll make my money off of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And get to that point. And I would love to be able to work for a company one day if I start getting high enough popularity that will put me on and have my back when YouTube doesn't. Because YouTube ain't going to, YouTube give two flips. They could cancel all of us and so forth. And we're all done and everything. So let's see. I'm going to get to this point, though, what Steve was really trying to say.
Businesses differently and have different priorities. Here's the thing. I would genuinely still, Daily Wire, Jeremy, love to sit down at the table and explain to you how you can make all of this work, how you can scale what we do and not have to be beholden to the people who we all go out and claim that we're fighting. And especially with all of the financial resources that you have, which, by the way, are very impressive. And by the way, since fielding requests for people who've sent this in who you guys are under these kinds of contracts, right? You've sent in your emails. If you're looking to either join a network or looking to navigate these contracts, we've been flooded. I'm going to try and get to all of you. But here's the thing. Let me give you my word right now. My word. Everyone, you can timestamp it, call me on it. Here at Mug Club, we will never take any ownership over your social media platforms or your channels, and I don't want a dime ever of your YouTube revenue. You make your own decision as to whether you want to be monetized or not. Some people want to, some people don't. I just have a problem with requiring that you do and penalizing you if you don't. And to Daily Wire, to the rest of the people out there, give me a call. And look, let me put it this way. If you give me your word, this is all that matters here. Just give me your word that there will never be a clause in a contract again for some unsuspecting kid or someone who doesn't have the luxury to walk away from $50 million, as I did, true, guilty as charged. Give me your word that you will not penalize them 25% for demonetization, another 20% for a strike, another 20% for Facebook, Spotify, Apple, up to 80%. Just give me your word that that clause, that spirit will not be in any contract sent out to anyone else who's at the front lines fighting for this country, and we're done. All of this stops right now. You will never hear from me again. I will go out and sing your praises. You can pick up the phone. You have my word. That's all it is.
And there it is. And that's all it is. Steven Crowder said many times over, it's not about the money, dude. He don't care about the freaking money. He's already making money. He's already making the money, ladies and gentlemen. What does he need? What is he? That's what my whole point is to all this. If I'm already making money, if I'm already got the kind of cash that, you know, and I've been doing this on my own already, then why do the only thing you can offer me is the backing that if I lose like this monetization over here from this channel, that you guys are still gonna freaking have my back and everything. Well, don't worry, TJ. We're still gonna pay you. You're still gonna get paid from us. It's like I said, that club that I'm working at, they're still going to pay us for singing the songs that we want to sing. That club over there that everybody always goes to that thinks is so great and everything, well, they stopped paying us because we don't want to stop singing a couple of songs that they don't like us singing and everything. But we came over here and they said, well, don't worry, TJ, we'll still pay you. We'll still pay you that money. Guess what? Keeps me going, keeps everything else going. My fans are coming. These guys are losing now because guess what? All those people that used to come, they're going to be going over to that club and say, hey, what happened to Slapback? We haven't seen them play in the last 3 months. Oh, yeah, well, we got to fire them because, you know, they're doing things. You fired them? What? Why? That's one of your baddest bands here. Well, because we had some people that were really complaining. A lot of people were like saying, well, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to go down the street because I found out they're playing over there now. So, yeah, and this band here, I'm not really, okay, bye, see ya. That's what's going to happen. Our fans are going to follow us over there. They're going to want to go over to the new place, to the place that's letting Slapback be Slapback and everything, where this club here is not letting us be who we are, what we do. Oh, you guys got to change the way you dress. Oh, we don't like the way you're dressing and everything. No, you guys can't do that. That's offensive and everything. Oh, you know, those words you use in there, that's offensive to women and so forth. You know, all these different things. So now you can't do none of your shiz anymore and everything. You got to stay by the book. The dadgum, if you really think about it, conservatives are the ones that are kind of becoming more progressive and the progressives are becoming more conservative, if that makes any sense. I'm talking like old school conservative, like old church school conservatives, you know, like where you weren't allowed to dance conservative. Like that's the devil's music conservative. Okay. Conservatives are not really that way anymore. They're more old school mainstream. Old school mainstream. These motherfuckers are like on some planet that we don't even know of yet and everything. It's far gone shiz. So all I gotta say is on the fact that what Crowder just said right there, dude, if you just take this out of the contract, I'm not even talking about all the other stuff that we can will and deal on that one. But this part right here is the part that I think is very crucial to anybody ever wanting to work with you, because the people that are good, that are suffering, are the people that constantly get jacked over by the cancel culture world. The cancel culture world is these people that come over here and they say, well, if you guys keep playing, then we're going to strip our advertisement from you guys. And what do? Oh, well, we ain't having that. Sorry, you're gone, TJ. Sorry, you're gone, Crowder. Sorry, Candace, you're gone. Sorry, Ben Shapiro, you're gone. You see what I'm saying? These things all happen to everybody that's playing on Daily Wire. Matt Walsh, all of them, they've all gone through this. They're all being canceled by the left, which is why they started the Daily Wire and everything. They have shows on the Daily Wire. Their fans came over to the Daily Wire to watch them. Everything. So my thing with Steven Crowder would be, if I was Steven Crowder, I would say, well, why don't I have a show on Daily Wire? All my fans come over there, and then we can make this type of a deal. and so forth. But don't penalize me because what happens to me on YouTube and so forth. He said, you can keep your money over there on YouTube and so forth. But you're going to do a certain amount of shows right over here on the Crowder show on the Mud Club network. And on Mud Club network, that stuff's all goes towards the business and so forth. And those people that subscribe over here, that's the money that comes over to us and we pay you and so forth. And you can still do all your other shits. We're not going to take any of that money from over there. We don't care about that because we're making our own money over here. So if Daily Wire was so big and huge and you guys are supposed to be the next thing, then why do you guys need freaking the money that's coming from the Daily Wire when they do a show on YouTube? Everything. When the money's going to be coming over to you guys from all the other stuff. From his merch, from his ads that you guys haven't put on your show, from him doing specials on Daily Wire, all that stuff. That's where you guys are going to make your money because his fan base is going to come over to Daily Wire to see that stuff. Everything. That's where the money will come in. But you guys want to penalize him if he doesn't make money over at YouTube. Well, he's already not making money. He's not making money over there. His sponsors are paying him. That's it. So my thing is, I don't need you if that's the situation. I really don't need your deal. Your deal makes no sense. Everything because I might as well just stay where I'm at. Steve Crowder can make his money, that kind of money on his own. He don't need Daily Wire. He's already got people subscribing to him. $10 a month. Like I said, Daily Wire has their lowest one is $8 a month and everything. Then they have the 12, then the 14. He just does a $10 straight out fee. Come over to the Crowder Mug thing, be part of the Crowder Mug team. Go to .com, boom, $10. You get to see all Crowder's stuff that you can't see on YouTube. He's doing that already and everything. It's just that he would switch it over to Daily Wire now. Everything. So I don't understand why you guys are tripping. But anyway, that's just the way it is, you guys. I think that there's two different sides to this. Obviously, yes, there's certain things in the contract. A company has to make their money and everything. I just think on just those key parts of the contract, those are the only things that I think they need to negotiate, and they need to take that shit out. And all the other stuff, cool. We could keep that in there, whatever. We'll negotiate that shit and everything. You know, other than that, it's got some fair things. Some things in there are like, I wouldn't sign the contract. I'll tell you that much, you guys. I wouldn't do it and everything because that means all my shit is owned by these guys. Everything that I do, everything I have, everything I do it's like a record label, dude. It's really what it is. It's a record label deal. And you know who gets jacked in record label deals? The artist. The artist gets screwed. Ask any artist who's signed a record deal in the beginning. They're the ones that get screwed. Trust me on that. This is TJQUaKE. I'm out at 5,000, you guys. Hope you guys like what we threw out this way to you. Tell me what you guys think. You guys with Daily Wire? Are you guys with Steve Crowder on this? I'm kind of on both sides of the coin, but a little bit more leaning towards Steven Crowder on this one. And I love all my conservatives. I hope we all can work this out. Steven can work this out with Gary and all this stuff and Jeremy. I hope everything can come together and we can all be united, and don't let these people like a TYT be able to gloat and be happy and joking about what we're freaking doing now, because this is what they want. Anyways, you know how I do, y'all. I'm out. TJQUaKE. Ah.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm TJQUaKE, the ghetto gamer on this gaming thing. Yeah. Here we go, I'm TJQUaKE, the ghetto gamer on this gaming thing. Gonna bang 'em up, gonna shoot 'em up, right here on Gaming Strain. Bang, bang, blaze it on up, TJQUaKE, we're busting like the 1, 2, 3, here we go. Let's get into this, y'all. Yeah. TJQUaKE, the ghetto gaming show.